This is the Sunday debrief. Welcome back to another video as we review all of the good stuff from the 5 Saturday games. Big FPL interest in most of them. And of course, we look forward to the Sunday games as well. So guys, welcome to the channel. Hope you're all good. Hope you've had a good game week so far. You can get voting in the poll if you fancy. Are you on a green or a red arrow? And also, where in the world are you watching from? If you're watching on catch up, you can skip forward to the games if you would like. I'm going to do a quick introduction and then we're going to get cracking with the analysis. I think we're going to start with Spurs versus Man United. That 2-2 was an eventful second half. Someone get the coffees in, says Benjamin. Good morning to you. Good morning, FPL Mackham, Sunderland fan, and he's back in the title race. We all love Sunderland this year. Enzo, do we watch football? Yeah, we're going to talk about Enzo's position. He was unlucky not to produce again yesterday. From Everest Base Camp in Nepal. No way, Code Night. If anyone can beat that, let us know. If you can't beat that, still let us know where in the world you are watching from. Rowena, for example, is just up the road from me. She's not far in Market Harborough. Royal Berkshire in the house, FPL Maggot, 41 points so far, but 2 to play. Yeah, I've got loads to play today. Indonesia in the house, Queensland, Australia, 130k rank. Roland's in. Everyone's upset about Enzo. Feels like, look, I'm just gonna put this out there. We'll get to Chelsea in a minute. I owned Enzo Fernandez for about 3 or 4 months maybe 3 months last year. I think it was around March, April, May time. And he dodged points just like this. No one spoke about it then. But because he's in everyone's team now, because content creators picked him, it's like, oh, the end of the world. It's fine. He's a good pick, but don't expect these like mass returns. He is often the assister of the assister. He is a number 8 box to box. There's always 3 or 4 players in front of him that should be getting the Chelsea goals and the assists. Fine pick. Absolutely fine pick, but don't expect massive returns from Enzo. He does points dodge and he does often underperform as expected. We've got Melbourne in the house, Harpenden not far from me as well. Saka finally came good. We're going to discuss that. Comfy bed in Scotland, West Midlands. Worst week ever. Stratford-on-Avon, morning little miss. Rainy Dunoon, says Tony. Is that in Scotland? FPL Zin's in the house. Welcome to our Ultras members as well. Morning in Serbia and Slovenia. We got Jason in Slovenia there as well. So look, guys, without further ado, let's look at some of the snapshots from the game week just gone. So this is from the Scout members area. I like to start with this and then we'll go game by game. We're going to start with Spurs. If you're already in, by the way, I'd love you to hit that like button. But also, if you're new around here, please do consider subscribing. I've got some cool content planned for the international break. And I'd love you to see that as a subscriber. So hit the button if you fancy. Right, Walker Peters, expected goals. It's 9.6 for defenders, pretty rare. Callum Wilson, high XG, and Souček. The 3 biggest XG performers of the game week so far were all West Ham players. What does that tell us about Burnley when they go away from home? Oh, I love that. Mark's on the train to Nottingham. Yeah, I knew you'd be at the Forest game today, Mark. I did wonder, actually. I was thinking, oh, Mark's got a Sunday fixture. Will he be around? I guess Forest, because of when you play Thursday nights, you must have so many Sunday fixtures. I'm guessing you have way more Sunday than Saturday this season. Crystal Palace, of course. Aston Villa. They play Thursday night, right? Aston Villa, Palace, Forest, and that all in action today. All with home games, which they probably need after Europe. I really fancy Forest versus Leeds, by the way. I think the 2 o'clock games, I'll be watching Palace Brighton because of FPL interest. But I'm really interested to see how Forest can dominate a team with Sean Dyche. And I expect them to probably do so. Like, it's rare Forest under Dyche are going to have like 60% possession. I would expect that today at home versus Leeds. Let's see. Morgan Gibbs-White missed penalty in the week. Yeah, some good games today. Some very good games. Let's look at the expected assisters and the highest. Enzo is up there. Enzo is 0.52. Like, we're going to analyse Chelsea properly. The first 15 minutes of that Chelsea match, I don't know how Enzo didn't return. He was incredible. But the best player isn't always the best FPL asset. He reminded me yesterday watching Enzo. This is high praise. It reminded me of Kevin De Bruyne, like, who I always watched at City and always wanted him in my FPL team and far too often picked him when he probably wasn't the pick, but he was just the best player. And I was like, he's going to get me points. Enzo was points dodging at like peak De Bruyne yesterday. Neto with high expected assist. Anthony as well. We haven't seen points from Anthony in a while. And then Estaviao comes on. Like, Chelsea are holding him back. Like, he's a superstar in the making. I want more minutes. I definitely want more minutes. And then DEFCON, fair play if you were Dewsbury Hall. I know a couple did. I think a couple bench boosted, late riser bench boosted with Dewsbury Hall. So fair play to him. So he got 9 points, I think, yesterday. Florentino at Burnley, arguably the best DEFCON midfielder in the game. I think he's had like 16 to 20 a handful of times. Anderson got DEFCON for so many. Xhaka got DEFCON for so many. And Bukayo Saka, not on this chart, but he was the only Arsenal player to get DEFCON yesterday with your 12. Good one, Bukayo. Good one, Bukayo. Right. Comments on the game we're on would be useful, and then we'll move on. So if you've got any questions about Spurs or Man United, this is the time to discuss them, to get them in. So look, what a boring first half. I did think Spurs were the better team in the first half. And obviously they went a goal down. And Mbeumo with a fantastic header. Like, I did tweet at the start of the game, and Mbeumo on the left isn't going to be great for FPL. Like, it's bad. But then I went, in the same tweet, I said, Mbeumo versus Pedro Porro is a good thing. Because Mbeumo versus Jed Spence is going to be a tough afternoon. Mbeumo versus Porro, he's their weakest he's their weakest fullback at defending by some distance. Udogie and Jed Spence are very good, like one-on-one. They're comfortable in the air. Porro's pretty weak in the air, and he's pretty weak one-on-one and in the duel. So yeah, Mbeumo gets the header, and then Spurs came into it, didn't they? Like, probably deserved the lead going into the final couple of minutes. Like, the XG there, 1.35 versus 0.84. The Lit, great header at the back stick, proper good corner from Bruno. That was well rehearsed, that. And they'd been looking at the back post all afternoon, or lining them up. They lined up like Arsenal yesterday. They crowded all their players out the back post. So look, maybe the draw was the fair result. Spurs definitely were good value for the draw, I think. And I know the booers were ready. The booers were ready at 70 minutes when United were winning, and it was like, we're going to have a go at Thomas Frank again. But I think Spurs did all right. And the substitutions from Thomas Frank, we'll look at in a minute, were very, very good. All the substitutions came on and made a difference. Goal in minutes. Like, really good subs. 10 shots to 5. United shots were fairly big chances, though, and that is worth noting. Man United are clocking big chances, and Mbeumo gets a lot of them. I did wonder if we'd see Mbeumo down the middle. We saw Sesko benched yesterday. But when we look at that Man United lineup, it was Cunha down the middle. And some pre-match had Mbeumo down the middle. And I was really hopeful of that. And then as soon as the game kicked off, I was like, damn, Mbeumo's on the left. But Mbeumo on the left still sees all the traffic. We're so used to Chelsea, Man United going down that right-hand side. And Mbeumo's the biggest beneficiary. Yesterday, they mixed it up. They played Mazraoui down the right with Diallo. And then they played Mbeumo with Dorga on the left. Worked really nicely. Bruno was a little bit more advanced yesterday than I have seen in the all season. Most of his average position this season has been bang on with his double pivot partner, Casemiro, usually. Like, maybe a tiny bit more advanced. Yesterday, he was considerably more advanced than Casemiro. The average position shows this. And yeah, he had a good game. In terms of goal involvement, not huge from Bruno. I was watching the game going, I'm glad I went Mbeumo over Bruno. There was 9 points between the two of them going into the last 15 minutes, that football match. And Mbeumo was on 3 bonus points. He was on a clean sheet point, but he was on 3 bonus. And then all those 3 late goals meant Mbeumo dropped out the bonus completely, and Bruno got an assist. So the gap between the two players went from 9 points to 2 points. And there I was all week sweating on it. But, it's not going to, I'm not going to be judged on my Mbeumo Bruno decision in 1 week. Let's see how it goes in the next 4 or 5 weeks. I am really hopeful Mbeumo outscores him. That's who I went with. But Bruno's still clearly a very good pick. Comments on United. Dorgu needs to look up and work on delivery. He is a frustrating watch, and he has missed a lot. He has been dropped, and we're seeing a lot of Dallo on that left-hand side, aren't we? Amram shouldn't have taken Casemiro off. Casemiro doesn't play 90 though, David. I don't know if, I guess it's a fitness thing. We know Amorim likes his 70-minute subs. He always makes one at centre back. Yesterday, I think Maguire was injured, but Casemiro doesn't get the 90. Is Ahmad a pick? No, because he's going to AFCON and he'll usually be a wing back. He's a fine pick, but Mbeumo's better. Now, he did do the most for Man United. I just want to draw our attention to the fixtures in a minute, because Man United, I just want to talk about Mbeumo and when he's off. So AFCON, we get the 5 AFCON transfers going into game week 16. Most big players in the Premier League won't be released in game week 16 for AFCON. AFCON actually starts the same Saturday as game week 17. I think it's the 20th of December. Game week 16, despite it being you get your 5 free transfers and clubs should or can, due to FIFA rules, release players, I think it's 12 days before the competition starts. They don't have to. And Cameroon and Man United are in discussion at the moment over Mbeumo and when they'll release him. Game week 16, Mbeumo plays Bournemouth at home. I'm almost certain he plays that football match. There is talk, and Man United are apparently pleading with Cameroon to allow Mbeumo to even play the Aston Villa game. Now, that's on the 20th of December. Cameroon's first game of AFCON is the 24th. But AFCON starts on the 20th. Could he play even game week 17? Maybe. So I've put this fixture ticker up to game week 17. With our AFCON players, let's assume they're all playing 16. There was a case, I think it was with Anana of Man United last time round, where he was released something like he played. You look this up. I'm pretty sure he played for Man United, and the next day he went to AFCON and played for Cameroon. But he was on the bet. He was benched because he literally played 24 hours before, which was mad. So a lot of the African players going to AFCON prioritize their club football over AFCON. They're going to go to AFCON, but they're going to go right up to the wire. I guarantee if this was England and this was the Euros, you wouldn't be playing the day before. You'd be released by your club 10, 12 days before. But it's slightly different this time round. So when you look at the fixture tickers for AFCON, just know if you're buying an Mbeumo, you're still going to get 5-6 games out of him. It's not necessarily too late. I think many will look at it and go, oh, I only get to game week 15 because that's when we get the 5 transfers. Oh, I've only got 4 weeks of Mbeumo. You could get 6, right? You could get 6. I don't know about Ahmad. I've not looked at Ivory Coast's first fixture. Spurs, Brennan Johnson came in and played the Kudus role. This is, again, like Mbeumo down the right for Man United, like Saka for Arsenal, like Salah for Liverpool. The right-hand side is often the most advanced outlet. And Brennan Johnson was really good yesterday. I thought he had but he was good. He wasn't really good. He was good. Really good cross in the first half for a Richarlison header that he should have at least hit the target with. Xavi Simons played number 10, which is where he wants to play. I think he ran into a lot of traffic yesterday. Our friend and Ultra member Sav, he was at the game yesterday and he said he's just constantly running into traffic, and the Spurs fans getting frustrated with Xavi Simons, who I thought played quite well. Richarlison and Muani played 2 up front, which is interesting. Jed Spence inverted. There wasn't a lot going down that Jed Spence, side for Man United. Look at that. So with that, it was a very lopsided game where everything came down one side. And at one point, I was watching Mbeumo going, God, you could even get DEFCON today. I think he had like 4 DEFCON in the first half an hour. So, yeah, Spurs, I think, are a non-event. I don't think we're buying Spurs. I really don't. Like, Mickey van der Ven clean sheet wipeout, which was nice. Still really highly owned. Fine at his price point. Should we be shopping for United or Spurs players? Well, look, Man United on the ticker. That's still third. I think the United attack is fun. I don't love the United defense. I still think they've got a soft centre. I wouldn't be shopping there even for budget defenders. But is Mbeumo or Bruno or even Ahmad still a buy? Yes, if you're doing it now. But because of AFCON, you need to be buying them now. I don't think you want to be buying an Mbeumo in game week 13, but you could buy them in 12. I'm probably free hitting in 13. I fancy them at home to Everton, by the way, Man United for goals. Both Mbeumo and Bruno should be still of interest. In terms of the extras yesterday, Odegaard came on, got the assist and gets bonus points, which is quite something. Tell came on, just missed out on bonus. He got the goal. Ahmed getting bonus. Dorgu just missed out. And then for DEFCON, Casemiro always gets it. He doesn't need 90. If he played 90, he'd always get it. He always gets close. Delict with 11, he gets it too. Ahmad and Bruno missing out. And then Paulinho, again, going to be a DEFCON beast. We know it from his time at Fulham. He was unbelievable for DEFCON. He's still going to be very good for it at Spurs. So, yeah, that's where we're at. In terms of Bruno versus Mbeumo, guys, let us know in the chat which ones you own. Let us know what your take is there. Can we see Bruno as a 10 during AFCON? I asked a couple of Man United fans what they thought to this. Will we see Bruno moved higher up? I don't know if we will. Sesko is injured. If Sesko was fit, I think we'd see Sesko and then behind him, Cunha and Mount. I'm pretty sure Mount comes into the 11 during AFCON. But now Sesko's injured, we could see Cunha number 9, Mount and Bruno as dual 10s. There's a possibility. Or Xerxes comes in. Good morning to our channel mod, CH. Must be very, very early where you are, CH, in Canada. Or maybe you're still up. Casemiro plays 90 for Brazil. Yeah, it's a fair point. I'm just saying, Amorim doesn't play him 90. And he doesn't. Mount and Xerxes very much have an opportunity. Does Bruno come into the 10? My gut shot is Man United need him in midfield regardless of extra personnel. I think we need to know more about Sesko's injury, but it didn't look good. He went straight down the tunnel. I think it will still be a midfield 2 of Casemiro and Bruno during AFCON. I really do. I don't think you can risk a Kobe Mainu or a Agate playing alongside Casemiro. I think Amorim knows clearly this is where he needs to play him for the output of the team. And I think they've got enough cover in the attacking roles with a Mason Mount, with a Xerxes. Morning, Paul. Good to see you in the house. Right, let's get to some other guys. Good afternoon from Singapore. Love that. Yeah, Manu might be injured, but he's a bit part anyway, isn't he? AFCON being every 2 years in the middle of the season doesn't help. No, fair. Okay, so these are the games. Where do we want to go to next? Well, let's do... should we do Chelsea or Arsenal? Let's do Arsenal. Now, a little bit different, guys. The between the post graphics that I use for Man United, you've seen, and I use every week, you see the shot maps, you see the XG plots, all of this stuff. Frustratingly, between the posts, only I've uploaded. Someone must be off because they have only uploaded one game this morning. Gutted I was. So what I've done is I've got similar visuals from the BBC app, and I love the BBC Sport app. They've got now some momentum chart. So the momentum chart is similar to the XG plot. This is the threat. This is possession. This is chances. And we can see Sunderland in yellow versus Arsenal in white there. Arsenal dominated the football matches, dominated the chances. But was a draw the fair result? Absolutely. Not taking anything away from Everton. But in terms of pure XG and chances, Arsenal, of course, they dominated. Morning from Grantham, just up the road. Love that. My brother-in-law's from Grantham. Love the Sunday debrief. Subscribe and like if you haven't, guys. That is very kind of you to say, Nath. Yeah, well, I would love that. If you do fancy doing those things, then yeah, it all helps the algorithm if you hit the buttons. Obviously, it's the international break now, and I'm going to plan some interesting content for the international break. So make sure you do sub to get it. Morning from HMP Belmarsh. Really? Horrible to watch with double Arsenal defence. Yeah, this is the first week I got double Arsenal defence. And it's the first time all season they've conceded two goals. 65% possession from Arsenal. Now, these are the numbers we're interested in. The XG. They only conceded 0.44. They only conceded 0.44. It's worth noting Sunderland did force a triple save from David Raya that would have created quite a high XG in that original chance if they're onside, if Sunderland were onside, the Sunderland striker was onside, but he wasn't. So that XG isn't logged because it was offside. I am a warden. Fine. I wondered if inmates, I don't know, do inmates get, let us know, real life demon, do inmates get, because you always hear like typical Daily Mail headline, like inmates get Sky TV. They don't, but what's the deal with internet? You don't get internet access, do you? Or can you have selected time on the internet? Obviously, TVs are a thing in prison, but I guess it's just channels, just sort of standard Freeview, is it? And I don't know if they're in the cells or outside the cells. Let us know. It's really interesting. I mean, you're in Belfast. I'm sure it's different to every prison, depending on category, is different. But The life of a prison warden is surely very interesting. We'd love to know. Robbed of a David save point. Yeah, maybe. Triple Arsenal defence cost you yesterday. Look, I want to talk about Saka because 17 shots. Saka created chances galore. He did really well on the bonus because of it. He absolutely deserved his 12-pointer yesterday, Saka. And Arsenal was still good value. What's interesting about these numbers is corners. Arsenal very rarely create 2 corners. That's not good enough. That's not good enough for Arsenal because Arsenal score so many goals from set pieces. And that probably just shows how good Sunderland were. And Sunderland were really clever. Not only did they consciously not put the ball out for a corner, they really focused on putting it out for a throw-in when they can. But for throw-ins, Declan Rice takes a long run up. So they move the perimeter boards closer to the touchline. Now, it's really interesting because I watched some of the long throws from Calafiori and he just couldn't do it. He couldn't do it without his run up. I think Declan Rice the same. Mukiele for Sunderland also requires a run up. And I watched his long throws and they were rubbish too. But Sunderland were clearly like, look, we're gonna let go of the fact that Mukiele's long throws aren't going to be very good today because Arsenal's throws against us are more important to stop. So I thought that was really interesting. Like, we're good at long throws, but we're not as good at them at long throws. So we're going to make the perimeter boards close to the touchline. No internet for inmates, but phones get smuggled in, preloaded with internet data to use. A lot play FPL. Ha! I guess a lot can't work on FPL. Can't do FPL. Can't absorb FPL content though. Because of the amount of data you need to watch a video or listen to a podcast. When I was on cruise ships, not that this is in prison, but I didn't have the internet on cruise ships. This is going back 15 years. I absolutely loved playing FPL. It was brilliant. I would set my team at the start of the week. I would watch Sky Sports News, and we had Sky Sports News in the room, and I could see all the goals coming in. But I couldn't absorb any content, and I had to sort of wait sometimes like days to see my actual points. But I'd be working it out as I'm watching the games, as I'm watching Gillette Soccer Saturday. It was really fun. And so I'd have to lock my team in on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday sometimes because I'd be like, oh, I'm not getting internet till Sunday. So I'm going to lock my team in on Tuesday. And Briss played a blinder by moving the advertising, but he really did. He really did. Debating Calafiori over Rye. That was my big debate last week. Calafiori, by the way, nearly could have scored at the end with a very good header. Arsenal went with the standard formation and lineup you would expect. Trossard is getting the minutes on that left-hand side. And what a goal from Trossard. Sunderland went back 5. Now, the biggest observation for me when they go back 5 is Mukiele doesn't get DEFCON. Effectively, Mukiele plays right back. And at right back, Mukiele got like 4 DEFCON. And he did again a couple of weeks ago when he played there. I think it was the Monday Night Football. I own Mukiele. I got an assist. He's on my bench. But you ain't going to get DEFCON unless he's playing centre-back, which is a bit annoying. A bit annoying. I wonder if the inmates with the stress ball, if they win the stress ball, if they win. So look, Arsenal still very good value. We're still buying Arsenal players. They don't have the best fixtures. It doesn't matter. Tottenham up next. Then it's Chelsea. I think I'm free hitting in 13 anyway. Brentford, Villa, Wolves, Everton. There's still going to be so many ultras in the house. If you want to be an ultra, check the join button below, by the way. FPL Mackham's an ultra as well. Raya made a triple save, but it didn't count because it was offside. How good are Sunderland? Very, very good. And the Sunderland fixtures, by the way, if you are in the market, Ballard is a goal threat. And Ballard will get lots of DEFCON because he always plays centre-back. Fulham, Bournemouth, Liverpool, Man City, Newcastle. It's a tough run, isn't it? Bournemouth, Liverpool, Man City, Newcastle. But they're going to cause all these teams problems, especially when they play at home. What about the extras? Well, who got them? Siddiqui and Xhaka. They've run more than any other midfield pairing in the Premier League so far. They both got DEFCON. And then Saka, only 3 players getting DEFCON in this fixture. Interesting. Saka on 42 BPS. Winner, chicken dinner. Very happy with that. I wonder who put Mukiele above an Arsenal defender this game week. Whoa. That is brave. That is brave. Okay. Shall we move on to a different game? To a different game. Let's get to Chelsea. Loads of chat about Enzo. Look, Enzo's an absolutely fine pick, but don't expect returns every week. Keep saying it. He's never been that output guy. He's really good, but he's never been the output guy. Hope Northern Ireland make it to the World Cup. We have some gems like that. Yeah, Rowena. Bradley, of course. Right, let's crack on. Chelsea. Chalobah's been solid. I think it was the best centre-back pairing yesterday for me. Chalobah and Fofana. Really hard to predict who's going to start each week for Chelsea at centre-back, but it was Chalobah and Fofana. And guys, Wolves didn't have a sniff. Look at that momentum chart. Look at the possession. Look at the shots, 20-3. Look at the XG, 3.39 to 0.17. They didn't have a sniff. We don't need to talk about Enzo. 10 corners to 1. Guys, Enzo's XGI was like, I don't know, 0.5, 0.6. It was very good. Target Wolves, yes, but under the new manager, might be different. So I don't think we can say that just yet. My Delap punt didn't work. No, unfortunate there. He did get the minutes, though. We always knew if he started, he'd get around 60, and I think he did. New to the channel, enjoy this content with a breakdown. Oh, Samuel, thank you very much. Usually it's a bit stronger than this. I don't have all the best graphics this morning, but the Sunday mornings, every week, is my favourite stream of the week. Yeah, Ahmed agrees this is the best centre-back pairing so far. And look, there was no Reece James because Reece James played 90 versus Karabag. And he played, I think, 90 in the Premier League before that. So he came on, but what he can't do is he can't play 90, 90, 90. So with that in mind, when there's a midweek, 3 sets of 90 is very unlikely for Reece. Garnacho had a good game. Estaviao came on and was amazing, but Enzo was the best player on the pitch by some distance. He had the most shots. I think he had 5 shots on target. 5 shots on target. Like, he was really good. And owners were, of course, unlucky. But that does happen with Enzo. Do you keep him? I think you do. I think you do. Ismail Assar's a real tempter, but obviously he's going to AFCON. Chelsea fixtures are still fine. Like, you've just had the best one, but Burnley away is good. Arsenal at home is going to be tricky, but then they go to Leeds. Like, Burnley and Leeds, they've got 2 of the newly promoted teams in the next 3, but they are both away games. And remember, Burnley at home and Leeds at home are a different beast. I still think that's good fixtures, though. They're not great, but they're good. Pedro trolling for the 2nd week in a row. Is he a hold? Yeah, I think so. Garnacho 1% owned, but still not a buy, Maliki. He won't start every week. You could vet Chelsea's 2 best wide forwards are both better on the right. Pedro Neto and Estaviao. He might have to play Pedro Neto on the left. Can't keep benching Estaviao. I don't know if it's Estaviao or Stavio. Every time he comes on, though, what a player. Well played for bringing back João Pedro. If you did, you got rewarded straight away. Obviously, did he get the points? He got the goal, but did he get the extras? Well, he got 1 bonus. I think you're happy with that. Garnacho got the 2. Gusto with the 3. Obviously, they're all involved. Caicedo didn't get DEFCON. Enzo looked like he was going to get DEFCON at some point, but he didn't. And then for Wolves, no DEFCON there either. Interesting. Yeah, Stavio's definitely better. Get your likes in, guys. There isn't a more in-depth FPL stream around. Oh, it's very kind of you, mate. This stream is lacking a little bit without all the between the post stuff this morning. But I was able to do it for Man United Spurs, but not with all the games. So I can't show you all the average positions and XG plots. But I can show you most of top line stuff. Wolves, we're swerving. Are we still buying Chelsea players? Yeah, I think so. Like, Chelsea defense is legit quite good. Sanchez, if you're looking for a goalkeeper, is a very good pick. Cucurella hasn't had the attacking output we expected. Chalobah's been great. In attack, Enzo's still probably the best pick. But I say probably because I'm not entirely sure he's the best 6.7 midfielder in the game. Szoboszlai, let's watch him today. But I think Szoboszlai might be where a lot of Enzo owners go. Let's see. I'm really interested in Szoboszlai myself. Ismail Assar is still my favourite in that price band. Shall we move on away from Chelsea? Shall we go to Everton versus Fulham? Thank you, mate. Really appreciate that, Cowboy. Cucurella not so attacking when he's playing. Yeah. Oh, Neil, tell us your rank. Come on, Neil. Tell us your rank. You went into the game week at what, 24k? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Neil, let's talk. But maybe if you're around on Tuesday or Wednesday, we could have a chat on YouTube. I'd love to do like an early look at your team and a reflection on this season gone so far, because I don't know a single content creator that's beaten Neil this season. In fact, there isn't one. Neil Robertson, ladies and gents, the former world snooker champion, went into the game week at 24k. And he's a Chelsea fan, so I've always got time for him. Right, Everton, Fulham, and Dye points dodging. Yeah, he is. And Dye was points dodging. There was 3 disallowed goals yesterday, and then Dye would have got assists, I think, for a couple of them. It was a 50-50 game on possession, but look at the dominance Everton had. And at home, Everton are good. Fulham ropey. Fulham never looked like they were going to score. They created 0.4 XG, which is pretty pathetic against Fulham and Everton should be similar level, mid-table Premier League teams. Go in there and creating 0.4 is pretty bad. 8 shots, but low XG, low chances, shots from distance. 4 of them on target, but again, pop shots, not good enough. Big Red, 24k to 30k, thanks to JP. Yeah, need triple palace. Okay, I think you've probably got more to play today than most, Neil. So you could still end well. Loved your content with Neil at the start of the season, said Roland. Yeah, Neil, let me know what day you're free next week to record. But if you're around on Monday or Tuesday, that'd be amazing. But I'll WhatsApp you. Everton's lineup's pretty predictable. We saw Garner at right back again. Dewsbury Hall was one of the standout players. I think he got 9 points yesterday. Really useful for those that did pick him. And Keane over Tarkowski for DEFCON every single time, guys. Every single time. Just doing it. Michael Keane, legit good pick. As long as Branthwaite's out, Michael Keane's a good pick. We're not going to analyse Fulham. I don't think anyone's buying Fulham players. Anderson, maybe. Anderson's not getting cleans. That's the problem. Yes, he gets you DEFCON, but he doesn't get you clean sheets. So Anderson got DEFCON. Tete got DEFCON. Sessegnon got DEFCON. Dewsbury Hall got DEFCON. But look at the bonus points there. Keane with 38 BPS. Such a good performance from him. Now, Everton and Fulham players. Are we buying them? Don't think we are. Everton have got rotten fixtures. They're right at the bottom of the ticker. You'll see them there. Man United, Newcastle, Bournemouth, Forest, Chelsea, Arsenal. I think we're swerving. I think Tarkowski owners are selling. He dropped in price on Friday night. Would I buy Keane now? Don't know if I would. I'd find out more about Branthwaite's injury. What's Branthwaite flagged as? I know he had a big setback, didn't he? Yeah, unknown. I don't know if he's having surgery or what, but unknown return date. So yeah, Keane's going to be in the 11 for a while. I just don't fancy clean sheets versus United away. They could get a clean versus Everton at Newcastle at home. Bournemouth away, tough place to go and get a clean sheet. Forest at home, possible. You're pretty much looking at game week 13 and 15 as your clean sheet hopes. But I still don't love Anderson as a pick, by the way, for those on him. If you own Anderson, do you hold? Probably. Sunderland at home, good chance of a clean sheet. Then you go to Tottenham, Man City, Palace. Can't see him there. Go into Burnley, tough place to get a clean sheet. And then home to Forest. So again, you've only got like 2 of 6 weeks. Going to be a tough hold for Anderson owners. But unless you're moving to like a Liverpool defender, someone like a Bradley or a Konate, not much more expensive. You could go there. Little misses. I was relieved Grealish did nothing. I think he's great, but too expensive. I agree. I think Ndiaye's the pick there, right? Ndiaye is still the pick. Okay, let's move on and go to West Ham versus Burnley. Yeah, they both deserve to concede. West Ham, the better team, slightly more dominant. Burnley had 60% of possession. This is typical Nuno. Scott Parker is not a manager that's going to get loads of games where he wins possession. In fact, Scott Parker's probably not going to go away from home in the Premier League this season and get 57% possession, Scott Parker. But Nuno, as we know from his time at Forest, is total give him the ball. And he did it yesterday, and he was given the ball and win. How was Kilman? Manon's trolling me. Yeah, rubbish. I got 1 point. Thanks. I'm selling Kilman, I think. He's either 5th choice defender and always on the bench or being sold. So, yeah. But annoyingly, I bench Mukiele to start Kilman. XG, by the way, 3 XG for West Ham. Fair play. They got 3 goals, 15 shots. Burnley with so many shots, 16, 1.2 for XG. I didn't deserve the clean sheet from Kilman. And we're not buying players from either team, are we? If you own Bowen, you're really annoyed. West Ham finally go and clock XG. West Ham finally go and score 3 goals, and you don't get a single return from Jarrod Bowen. I think he's can't get them all. He's a flop, yeah. And he doesn't get DEFCON either. Annoying thing about DEFCON, whoever Kilman plays alongside, Mavropanos or Todibo, they out DEFCON him. Paqueta off at 11 DEFCON, but you got an assist. He is suspended next game. Paqueta. No one's buying Burnley players. We're not going to analyse them. Souček, he's a proper Nuno player, is Souček. Potts, by the way, unbelievable performance. Again, Potts takes set pieces. Potts gets DEFCON. I think he got DEFCON in the first 45 minutes. Just want you to note, everyone, if you are looking for a dead spot, I think he's a 4.4 million midfielder, Potts, and he is obviously playing games. Paqueta moved down to 10. By the way, DEFCON. So he needed 2, not 1 to get there. Mateus Fernandez was highlighting a match today. Yeah, good performance. Fleming in draft. Congrats, Cam. Yeah, he keeps getting goals, Fleming, doesn't he? Are we buying West Ham or Burnley? No, we're not. It might be that you just I don't know, there might be the occasional week if you're on a free hit, you fancy one of them with a good fit like West Ham if they had a good home fixture. But no, the fixtures are pretty rough. Bournemouth, Liverpool, Man United, Brighton, Aston Villa, City. Wow, that's a tough run. Yeah, Potts went off injured, but I don't think it's serious. But do check that out. We've also got the international break to react to that. I'm pretty sure he got DEFCON in the first 45. It's pretty incredible, that. Guys, thank you for watching this morning. I'd love you to like, and if you want to subscribe, I'd love you to subscribe this morning. To celebrate, I will give 5 channel memberships to 5 of you. So if you hit the subscribe button, you can win a channel membership before the end of the show, and that will be in the next couple of minutes. So I'll let you know when to spam the chat. But all you got to do to win a membership, and there's extra content, loads of it for channel members. You got to like, you got to subscribe, and you got to spam the chat or just comment in the chat. And it goes to 5 people randomly. I don't get to choose. So 5 of you will win a channel membership in the next 60 seconds. Let's do it in the next 60, and then I'll show you my team and my points. So next 60 seconds, guys, 5 of you will win if you fancy. But you got to like, subscribe, and write a comment, anything you want in the chat. I'm not going to tell you when I hit the button because it will be unfair. Done. Who's going to get it? Who's going to get it? Global got one. Amanda got one. Hey, Amanda's now got an emoji by a name. Keelan got one. Love that. So, guys, let me show you my team. I don't care much for mid-game week ranks. We shouldn't overthink it. We shouldn't take too much into it. I've got Senesi, Minter, Sarr, Semenyo, 4, Haaland, 5, 6, Mateta, 7. Haaland counts as 2. I've got 7 performers today. I think I'm annoyed that I went with Richard's bench. Richards is going to go get a return for me now, isn't he? But yeah, I'm quite hopeful. Minter, 5%. Sorry. Minter, 5% owned. Sarr, 20% owned. Senesi, 20% in my rank. Semenyo, 85. Mateta, 50. Haaland, 170. Minter and Sarr could do some damage. And no one can really hurt me today, which is great. It was João Pedro who hurt me last night. I think I was 700k and then drifted. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching. I will put my early thoughts video out first thing Monday morning at like 6 a.m. I think I'm making another move. I made 3 transfers this week. I'm making another transfer next. So do tune into my early thoughts video, and I'll try and analyze some of the Sunday games as well. Special focus on that Liverpool performance today. Liverpool City. I'll do a Sunday debrief style breakdown on my early thoughts video. So showing you all this good stuff. So do check that out. See you tomorrow morning, guys. Bye-bye.